Hello, everyone. Welcome back from spring break. We hope you had time to relax, have some fun, and cross some items off of your to-do list. This week, we're in now Module 8, and we will be studying the second of our 8 diversity issues, ethnicity. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the relationships between ethnicity and design. You know, when I think about this topic, I think about all of the wonderful traditions and ways that people have made things in various cultures, not only in the US, but around the world. I was just at the Broadway market today, and I bought one of these beautiful Ukrainian eggs that are, the technique is just so incredibly intricate and wonderful and geometric. And then when I think about all of the things that I've had acquired as I've traveled around the world, here's a beautifully etched piece from the country of Turkey. I've got a beautiful little wooden piece from Poland. Behind me is a Mayan rubbing from Guatemala. I mean, I just love the various ways that people make and design things that are important in their worlds, and I really appreciate the traditions from various cultures. So obviously, this is probably one of my favorite weeks, the ethnicity week. Now, when we think about ethnicity, we need to keep in mind that it focuses on similarities between people, such as common languages, their homeland, their customs, religion, cultural heritages. It can be based on shared social experiences as well, such as eating and dancing and dressing. And so many of you probably have relatives or traditions in your own families where there's a little bit of ethnic celebration going on now and then. Ethnicity often is an inherited status that's based on the society in which one lives or in which one has come from. It follows then that the design of our environments cannot help but have ethnic content. So let's just use Buffalo as our example. How are the Irish neighborhoods? I live in an Irish neighborhood. How are they different than the Polish neighborhoods? Different than the Vietnamese neighborhoods? Different than the Lebanese neighborhoods? Different from the Somali neighborhoods? Different from the African American neighborhoods? Each of these places in Buffalo and in other cities as well has a special character that reflects the ethnicities of the residents. Now, one of the complex issues here is how to determine the right balance between keeping ethnic character and encouraging diversity in our environments. The materials for this week start with the general background information on ethnicity. So first, we're going to be looking at 2 videos. The first one explains the differences between race and ethnicity. They're very closely related. And the second one gives us a very quick, it's less than 4 minutes, overview of the ways that the US grew from 1850, onward. So it's really fascinating to see the immigration patterns and how they have changed over time. Then we'll move on to our readings. We have 3 of them this week. The first article is on ethnicity and communication design. In this case, the author contrasts early ethnic marketing, which attempted to sell Americanized products, to more recent post-1960 emphases, which were more on differences rather than trying to Americanize everything. The second piece addresses ethnicity and landscape design. And in this case, the authors discuss how 3 underrepresented ethnic communities are revealed through the landscape in the California Central Valley. It's a very beautiful article. In addition, they discuss the methods that landscape architects use to go about uncovering these histories. And most of you, regardless of your major, might have an opportunity to use these kinds of methods in your own work. And then finally, we'll look at an article on the ethnic portrayal of Disney animated characters and how that has changed over time. That's a pretty interesting topic, which I'm assuming you will be interested in, whether you like Disney or not. There are also two interesting pieces in the supplemental materials for the week. The first reading tells us the story of two Japanese American architects who were assigned the task of designing internment camps for Japanese Americans during World War II. What an ethical dilemma this is. And then the second article discusses cultural appropriation, which certainly is an ethical issue for designers. Because there are so many blended cultures in the US, much of our design world inevitably involves cultural appropriation. And the question then is, when and in what context is it appropriate? And then the third article is a companion piece to the Disney article in the required material, which offers us another point of view. Of course, then you'll take your quiz and you'll participate in the discussion group with your critical thinking question for the week. And then if you need a break, of course, you can always check out the Something Interesting category. This week, we have two pieces. One is just fascinating. It's about how ethnicity has changed based on US Census data and based on the questions that were asked in the US Census. So if you look at the design of the questions themselves, they really tell us a lot about how our cultural attitudes have changed. And then you'll see, because of the way those questions were designed, the way that we then categorize various ethnicities has changed as well. And then the second piece is about the worst of the ethnic stereotypes on television, and a classic example of that is Family Guy. So this video shows you all of the various kinds of ways that Family Guy has dealt with the characters in, well, shall we say, an ethnically inappropriate way. So this week, then, think about the physical environment you've experienced. Where do you see traces of ethnicity? Look on Main Street, look even up in Amherst, there are some traces. What is your attitude about those traces? That's maybe even more important. Do you think these ethnic characteristics are kitschy, traditional, nostalgic, exotic, beautiful? Like me, well-crafted, charming? Your attitudes about this and the attitudes of other young people, if we think about that as a collective, are going to determine whether these elements of ethnicity in our environment stay or go over time. On another note, Project 2, which is due at the end of the semester, has been posted. We are going to hold a Zoom meeting to further explain it, so stay tuned for more details on that. Also, thank you for your mid-semester survey responses. We changed several things about the course as a result of your thoughtful suggestions, so please check your email or look in the course announcements for the details. And then also, we are in the process of starting to jury and grade Project 1. We will be, the TAs and I will be doing our own final jurying starting the Monday after Easter. And then we need to give our selections to Lamar Advertising and have their staff look at the group that we put into our final group of selections. And then they'll choose the one that will actually be produced as a billboard. Okay, and the grading is separate, by the way. The grading will take us a little bit longer to do, so we're hoping to have those grades in sometime in the first third of April, I think is a reasonable time. They take a while to grade. Okay, I think that's it right now. Have a good week. This is going to be our first official week of spring, so meaning the first full week of spring. So, because of that, I wish for all of you, is this on right? Let's see. I think we'll do it again. I wish all of you new life, new growth, and lots of happiness. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe, stay fun, stay creative, and stay kind. Bye-bye.